I almost hit the wall when I backed up my car. I was in the middle of talking to Jack when he suddenly cut me off to tell me that I should slow down. Anyway, why don't you pull up so we can get through this lesson?
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. This is Happy English Podcast, episode 844, Phrasal Verbs related to driving. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Happy English Podcast. I'm your English teacher, Michael, and I'm so glad you're listening. If you've ever driven in the U.S., or you're just curious about how we talk about driving in everyday English, then today's episode is for you. We're going to talk about phrasal verbs that we use when driving, and trust me, there are a lot of them. Let's start with something simple. Parking. So here's the thing. When I park in my driveway, I usually back in. That means I drive in reverse into the driveway so the back of the car goes in first. That way, it's easier to pull out later. Some people prefer to pull in, meaning the front of the car goes in first. Either way is fine, but personally, I like backing in. It just makes getting out smoother the next day. I remember my friend Kevin. He backed into this tiny parking spot like a pro. I was seriously impressed. Now, depending on how you parked, you're either going to pull out or back out. So if you backed in, then you'll pull out when you leave. But if you pulled in, you'll have to back out. Makes sense, right? Speaking of backing up, here's another one. Back up. This one is all about moving the car just a little bit in reverse. Like, one time I was parked in front of a garage and this guy asked me, "Hey, can you back up a little? You're blocking the door." Or when a big delivery truck was coming through my street, everyone had to back up just a bit so it could squeeze by. Yeah, backing up is usually just a small move, not full-on reverse when you're parking. The opposite of that? Pull up. That's when you move forward a little. Like when you're at a drive-thru and the car in front moves, you pull up to the window. Or your friend says, "Just pull up to the curb and I'll hop in." Super common. Now, if you've ever been driving and had to suddenly stop on the side of the road, maybe because of car trouble or because you're lost, you probably had to pull over. That's what we say when you move your car to the side of the road and stop. And yep, sometimes the police will ask you to pull over. I've been pulled over for speeding. Oops. And one time I had to pull over because I got a flat tire. Not fun. And speaking of getting back on the road, there's pull out again, but this time in a slightly different context. If you're parked or stopped on the side of the road, you'll pull out when it's time to rejoin traffic. Just make sure it's safe first. I've seen people pull out without even checking their mirrors. Scary stuff. One guy pulled out right in front of a delivery truck. Yikes! Now, let's talk about speed. When you're in a hurry, you might have to speed up. I've definitely had to speed up to catch a green light or pass a slow truck on the highway. And yeah, I've sped up more than once when I was running late for a movie. On the flip side, when the road is slick or there's traffic up ahead, you should slow down. Like, slow down, there's a speed camera coming up. Or when I was in upstate New York last winter, I slowed down big time. Those icy roads were no joke. Now, here's a driving move that everyone hates, cutting someone off. That's when a driver suddenly pulls in front of you without signaling. It's dangerous and rude. Just the other day I was driving on the highway and this guy totally cut me off. No blinker, nothing. He just swerved in front of me and that almost caused an accident. So yeah, don't cut people off. And by the way, cut off isn't just for driving. You can also use it in a conversation. Like when I'm explaining something and someone interrupts me, I might say, "Hey, don't cut me off." Or worse, some people just talk over you, like they don't even hear you talking. So yeah, cutting someone off works in more than one situation. Let's move to run over. I almost ran over a squirrel the other day. Poor guy darted right out into the street. Luckily, I missed him. My friend Dan wasn't so lucky. He ran over a nail and got a flat tire. And kind of like cut off, run over has another meaning too. If something takes longer than scheduled, like a meeting or a class, you can say it ran over. Like, "Sorry, I'm late, the meeting ran over." In other words, it went longer than scheduled. That's super useful in business settings. So, there you have it. Tons of driving phrasal verbs that we use all the time in everyday English. These phrases are supernatural and easy to use once you get the hang of them. And the cool thing is, a lot of them have meanings outside of driving too. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for riding along with me, and I'll catch you next time. Hopefully not stuck on the side of the road. Drive safe and keep learning. And keep in mind, the best way to remember English like this, and any other word or phrase in English, is to take that word or phrase, write it in a sentence that's true for you or true in your world, and then memorize your sentences. Hey, do you want to get more practice using your English? Well, you should join my Podcast Learners Study Group. There, you can make new friends. Join us for live group lessons every week where we practice these podcast lessons together. Plus, you get access to the PDF transcript and audio download for every Happy English podcast in the past and in the future. And on top of that, each episode has exercises where you can practice this English point with speaking and writing checked by me. To learn more, just visit myhappyenglish.com and choose podcast lesson 844. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible, and I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.